All right, so in this probably really short episode of Retro Wednesdays, we're taking a look at Urban Champion, which is a piece of shit, and I'm going into this knowing that it's a piece of shit, and this is actually a game that I owned since I was a little kid. There's a not a really funny story, but kind of a long story about how I ended up with this game. I have played it a sad amount, which is kind of embarrassing, but we're gonna give this a shot. This will probably be a short episode because this game is really not. There's not a whole lot to it, and it's not the most entertaining game.
Is this the original cart?
Yeah, this is my original 88 purchase. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, play this piece of shit.
This game reminds me of your house so much, and when you're that age and you go to your friend or family member's house, you know, looking at what games they had versus what you had, you would look forward to going to their house because they had games that you didn't have. And I remember seeing this game that you had it, and I was so excited to try it. And you're like, yeah, go ahead and try it, and I tried it. Very disappointing.
It sucks my ass. So the point of it is I'm the dude on the left with the blue hair, obviously. And the point is to beat the other guy up 3 times, and then on the 3rd time, you'll notice on this one on the far right, there'll be a manhole cover, and I gotta punch him into the manhole. And you basically have 2 punches. You have a short punch, which is A, or like a jab. And you have a heavy punch. The heavy punch is the trick.
Isn't there a kick?
No.
There's no kick.
Nope. The trick that I learned is you don't go all the way forward that you can, and you wind up your punch first. And then you win. Now I'm the Urban Champion, and then it just goes on for 1,000 years. I've made it to round 99, and
this is pretty violent for.
It is.
You know.
I have to say, like, the scrolling is very smooth.
Okay.
You don't expect that from an '84 game. And then
that was what the NES was kind of known for.
Moving.
Because if you look at consoles and computer systems of the time, the scrolling was not good.
Very choppy.
One of the best. If you look at the MSX and some of the games that came out on that, the scrolling was a real problem.
Huh.
So they used some pretty interesting tactics to kind of make it scroll more smoothly, but it still was pretty bad.
The other thing that will happen in the game on occasion is those windows above you. There'll be people that will drop stuff down on you, and if you get hit by it, you get stunned. And sometimes the cops come by, and randomly it will either arrest your opponent or you. I've never figured out if there's a pattern to it or not. So my story about this game is I had finally gotten, like, my parents didn't buy. I know it sounds like first world baby problem or whatever, but my parents didn't buy me a ton of video games just because they were like, you know, we don't want you to spend. They were like, we don't want you to spend all your time playing them and everything. So when we had the chance to like get a game, it was like a big deal. Man, I'm getting slaughtered. But so I managed to get my grades really good, really well one semester. I got like straight A's. So my parents were like, okay, we'll buy you a video game. So we went to Toys R Us. And so we're in the aisle, and I'm like between like 3 different games. Star Wars was one of them. I forget what the other one was, and Urban Champion. And for some reason, like, I just kept going back to this Urban Champion thing because I never heard about it, and this was before like video game reviews existed and like websites. And I loved the artwork on it, like, because it had that old, like, retro, pixely style. I thought it looked so cool. And I'd really hoped that, like, I was really excited about it. And then I brought it home, and it was this. And I was so completely fucking disappointed because it's not like a horrible game. It's just not, like, there's not much to it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a coin-op game, basically. You know, that just repeats for 1,000 years. And it's like... This was one of the games. Oh, you know what it was? I think it was it might have been Super C. It was a side shooter that was really good that I could have gotten instead, and I fucked up and picked this. And it was the beginning of my, like, I guess, negative experience with playing video games, like how you pick games and you're like, what the fuck, this is such a disappointment. And like, I had all these other video games like that were super hard and I was never good at, but for some reason this one always stuck in my craw. I was like, you know what, this is bullshit. I spent like $60 on the game that's like would be like a $2 game that you buy on like a mobile device nowadays.
That is an interesting perspective.
Yeah, that's why, I don't know, it just holds a special place in my heart because it's such a piece of crap.
You get a game and you pay $60 for it. And you expect.
Yeah, you want it to be good, and then like I'm like, what is this? It's just like there's nothing to it.
It's the first time that you kind of learn that, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, you learn that just because it's at the store doesn't mean it's good.
Yep. Just because it looks cool, it doesn't mean it's actually good.
I'm not getting a whole lot of enjoyment out of this one.
Are you playing Game B?
I don't know why.
I'm just wondering why it's like, it seems like it's super hard. You're gonna run out of time.
It's hard. I mean, there's no like pattern to it.
Yeah, it's just a random boxing game. It's interesting that like this game, like I know it's like it's hard to compare, but like you think about it, it's just basically a game where you punch each other. And it's not that entertaining, but then like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out is so much fun.
Because you have different opponents and they do different things, and there's an end in sight.
But it's interesting that it's like the same concept where there's like a light punch and a heavy punch, whereas in Mike Tyson's there's a body punch and a head punch, and that's really it. Like it's all it comes down to. Eat it, fucknut. And the other thing I should mention is that I tried so hard to make this game like awesome. Like I'd be like, "Yo, let's have an Urban Champion tournament. We'll see how far we can get with my friends." And like I kept trying. I would play this game for hours. So I'm like, it must be fun. I mean, it's a Nintendo game, right? And I spent all this time trying to convince myself that the game was good, and it's just trash. Trash. Yo, champ.
Nice. He's proud.
I do like that song. It's a good victory song.
It's such a Nintendo song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's got like real heavy square lead and it's like real like
does a vibrato
glittery. Yeah. Like you could tell they were trying to do like a honky tonk style piano, and it's like the best they could do.
Can you tell me some good things about this game?
It's smooth. It's actually
the scrolling. I know you said the scrolling was smooth.
The smooth scrolling. The controls actually work, and they're pretty decent for what they do. There is some strategy involved if you care enough.
I'm just surprised Nintendo released this.
I'm sure it was so early on that they were like, let's just put games out for people to play. I wonder if there's like some secret like underground like cult following for this game.
I'd be surprised if there was.
You never know, man. People are fans of anything. There's definitely got to be a subreddit that exists for it. Oh, he figured me out. That's right, bitch. Those were mushrooms? I thought they were ladybugs.
Oh, maybe they are ladybugs. Either way, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know why I'm still trying so hard.
Yeah, why would you continue to play this?
I don't know. I'll die soon. This is getting really hard.
What do you think they're fighting about?
They both have the same shirt on, so I guess they're fighting over who gets to wear it. Who wears like a light blue t-shirt with a blue long sleeve t-shirt underneath it?
I haven't seen people wear that kind of gear in a while.
That used to be my
Yeah,
thing.
it used to be
That
pretty
used to be
cool.
my jam.
T-shirt over a long sleeve.
Black t-shirt with a white long sleeve t-shirt underneath it. That was my jam.
Should bring it back.
I should have just start wearing it to work.
It's like the '90s vest.
Flannel shirts. Sometimes I kind of miss wearing flannel shirts because they're so comfortable.
Yeah, well, you can wear them. But what's wrong with wearing them?
Yeah, I'm talking like the grunge style ones, like they're all huge and baggy. Oh, you
Remember all those clothing brands from the '90s?
Rusty.
Rusty, Fresh Jive,
26 Red.
26 Red.
That was my jam. 26 Red Pirate Surf.
Mosimo, Stussy.
Stussy, that you got real nervous because when the people told you like, yo man, if you look at Stussy written in cursive, it says I'm gay.
I remember that.
It's a big controversy.
That was a problem.
Come on, oh,
26 Red. What about Yaga Rags?
Yaga Rags.
Remember that?
Damn. Yeah, man. 26. I still have that 26 Red shirt. This is Mosh Potato on the back of it. Somewhere I still have that in my house. Alright, enough of this shit.
26 Red. Rusty.
Rusty. The big hit. Rusty's still around, I think. I think
Yeah,
they still
it
make.
is.
I heard Jinko was making a comeback. Jinko jeans.
Heard the same.
They're making the baggy ass pants. God damn. Fashion back when we grew up was so fucking stupid. It's not even like you look at what people wore back then. You're like, God, you a bunch of idiots.
T-shirts.
Work shirts.
Why are you making fun of the work shirt?
Come on, man. This is so ridiculous.
I love them.
And you have a patch that was a band, so you'd be
love
like, I work for Metallica.
I love them.
I work at the Metallica gas station.
I love gas shirts so much. Gas shirt, chain wallet.
I still have one that has, I forget the gas station thing. It says, I think the name tag is Raoul, and it has a leopard collar. So
I have one of those
fucking
too.
sick.
I mean, I don't still have it, but I had one.
Oh, I definitely still have it. It says my mom threw away exactly 0 things that I owned.
Dude, gas shirts. We got to bring them back.
Yes.
What a great piece of clothing. I used to buy. I had so many.
Oh, I remember.
That was
dude,
my
your
gear.
closet was so full. We used to hang out during the summer. I would just go through your closet and steal shirts because I'm like, yeah, he's not gonna wear this one again.
I had a gas shirt that had like a potato on it, and the name was Spud.
Oh yeah, I remember that shit. Oh my god!
loved
I remember
gas
I was ultra extreme. I didn't have a chain wallet. I had a bike chain wallet. I had
pretty
that super long ass one. Oh my god! What a pain! in
And
the
a
ass.
hair wrap.
I did have a hair wrap.
I wanted
had
one
to-
so bad. And I was
had-
too much of a wuss to get one.
I still remember how pissed my dad was when I bought that. I bought like a real, like regular standard bike chain, and I like degreased it for like a week in like a bucket of soap and water, and my dad was so aggravated. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then the stupid thing was like, it was like I had to degrease it, and then I had to re-grease it, but just with a light amount of grease, so it wouldn't like leave like fucking black splotches all over my jeans.
You
I
weren't
used to get-
badass unless you had a bike chain wallet or a bike chain bracelet.
It's true. I got in so much trouble for having that thing all the time too, because they're like I'm surprised like I didn't get it confiscated because it was like it was a weapon. I mean, if I wanted to, I could really hurt somebody with that thing. You know, you take that off and I have a whip in my hand basically. But
The longer the chain wallet you had, the cooler you were.
I know I used to trip over it all the time. Just a pain in the ass.
Man. Simples.
I remember we used to go to like Six Flags all the time, and I had to take it off and leave it at the front gate because they were like, if you wear that on a roller coaster, it's gonna get caught and you're gonna get your leg ripped off. Which may or may not have been true.
Mine used to get caught in the seats at school sometimes.
Yeah, that
You'd
would
get up
happen.
and take the whole thing with you. That's a cool faux pas right there.
It just reminds me of the line from Return of the Living Dead, where the one guy whose name's Suicide. This is the best name for a character, and he's dressed up in his like punk outfit, and he's like, "What do you think? This is a costume? This is a way of life." And it's so fucking true. It's a way of life. Oh my god!
I'm gonna get a gas shirt. Definitely.
You're gonna bring him back. I'm gonna go get a bike chain, make wallet again.
I love
give it to
chain
my
wallets
son
so much. I've said it a million times. I love them, and I would wear one, except I can't.
I would wear one, except I'd get fired. My boss would see me like, "Get the fuck out."
No, my boss would love it. 'Cause my boss grew up in that time. He's a little bit older than me, just a little, and he's like big into like porno for pyros and Jane's Addiction.
You should start wearing
all of those things. So that would be right up his alley.
You just start bringing back like all the old like ridiculous bands we used to listen to. Like you just start wearing Sepultura gear and like get that Van Halen OU812 shirt with the 4 guys on the front cover that every kid owned. Oh my god! Oh yeah, we forgot Urban Champion. Final thoughts. We were strolling down memory lane over here.
This game is it's not even really bad. It's not. There's nothing to it. It should have been a mini game.
Yeah.
Or a tech demo, or like a hidden game in another game, or something. It does not deserve its own cartridge, and I'm surprised they released it. The only thing that makes it, I guess, acceptable is that it was from '84, which is, I think, the day it was released, like the year it was released in general.
I mean, it was one of the, I think it's considered
the NES,
one of the,
the Famicom.
I think it was considered one of the, I don't know if there's a Famicom version of this, but I know it was one of the, this game is considered a Black Label set piece from the original NES American launch. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I thought it would be cool. Like, you know, there's those like Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt and World Class Track Meet. Like, they should have one like that with like this game and like, I don't know, 2 other games from that launch title, like Kung Fu and something else, and call it like the fighting game or something. You know what I mean? Like, you get 3 of those in your set. There's really not a whole lot to like discuss. I mean, the game works. The controls are pretty decent
Kung
for what it
Fu's
does.
a Black Label game?
I think it is, yeah.
Interesting.
So you put those 2 together, and maybe like, I don't know, Gumshoe or that other weird light gun game that no one ever owned, that no one ever plays, and you put those together in your set. But yeah, I mean, the controls work. It's not the most graphically interesting game. The sound is like meh, but not terrible. So, you know, it's a game you don't see commanding high prices. Like, I wouldn't pay more than like $2 to $4 for this thing.
Yeah,
even in like good condition. I'd love to get a CIV just to say I have.
Really?
Of course.
You love Urban Champion.
I do. I'm an Urban Champion man. I'm gonna get an Urban Champion gas station shirt now that just says Champ.
Get a gas shirt with a long sleeve shirt underneath.
What you really need to do is get the fancy kind that has the long. It's just the long sleeves. It's not like a shirt underneath it. It's just like the double sleeve. They made those. So for kids who didn't feel like wearing 2 shirts, you could just wear 1 shirt that has 2 sets of sleeves on there.
I remember my one friend, we went to Catholic school together, and I'm not religious, but it was the only option.
I love how we always preface it when we bring up religion. I'm not religious.
I'm not religious at all. But he didn't want to wear, you could wear a turtleneck and a sweater, or an Oxford and a sweater. And he took his Oxford shirts and his turtlenecks, and he just cut them so that it was just a collar, and he would put it on.
That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Because I bet you must be like hot as shit in those things.
You know, I was just talking about this with my wife, because we both went to the same school. We were saying what a torture it was to go to a Catholic school that had no AC.
Oh my God, dude.
We had no air conditioning, sweating ridiculous, sticking to the seats, belt rust going through your shirt.
Oh.
It stunk. Like, every class you walked into smelled like hot, mildewy children. And what a nightmare that was. And the technology was really bad, and the building was like kind of dilapidated, and oh my God. I mean, it's probably not much better now.
Probably not, no.
But I really wish I went to public school. I was at a tremendous disadvantage because I didn't have, what a school should have. The computer lab was like 486s, and this is like, I don't know, like the late 90s. And
this was like
still running 486s on DOS.
It's rough. Ugh.
It was bad. It was really bad. It's a real shame. I probably could have been smarter if I didn't do that.
Yeah. That sucks, man.
It really does.
Yeah.
I made some good friends.
Well, that's good.
And I learned a valuable lesson, and that is that if you tell religious teachers what they want to hear, they leave you alone. And that's what I did.
You really went off on the time warp tangent. See, it's what I'm saying. Urban Champion brings lives together, man. I'm telling you. It's a better game than people give it credit for. But anyway, I think you should wrap this shit up. Okay. This is Urban Champion, and for Retro Wednesdays, until next time.